everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 263. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back, and if you are a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. This is a podcast about mostly knitting and sewing and making all the things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from, and I live with my husband Dennis and our adorable cat Bella. And as always, I'm so happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about those things with me. As far as administrative stuff goes, you can follow me on social media. I am most active on Instagram as Voolenvine, and as well as on Ravelry. You can follow me there. If you would like to get in touch with me, the best way to do so is via email. I am contact@voolenvineyarns.com, and show notes for this episode and all other episodes can be found over at www.voolenvineyarns.com. And I believe that is it for announcements. EYF, Edinburgh Yarn Festival, is coming up really quickly. I believe we have 3 more weeks left before I get to take off and head to Scotland. I cannot wait. So as I mentioned in the past couple of weeks, I will be attending the Podcaster Lounge, which is hosted by Blackberry Yarns. I will be there Friday and Saturday, so if you see me, please come up and say hello. It would be lovely to meet you. I ordered swag. I will have buttons, and I'm very excited about them, so you know, stop over, say hello, and snag a button. And yeah, so plans are coming together, and I cannot wait to, you know, meet podcast viewers and friends who I haven't seen in a while. So yeah, otherwise I think that is it for announcements. So I am going to dive into what I've been making this week. Granted, a lot of the same projects, no finished objects, unfortunately, but I have been making progress, especially on my Zweig pullover by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knits. I can't talk today, guys. I don't know if you picked up on that, but yeah, living in my bedazzled, pinned out fringe supply bag is living my Zweig pullover, and I finished a sleeve, you guys. I finished a sleeve, but I am officially on Sleeve Island, and the reality, it's a struggle. Anyway, finished one sleeve. As I mentioned last week, I had started to decrease for the ribbing, but after trying it on, I realized I wanted the actual sleeve to be longer, so I ripped back and knit about maybe 4 or 5 more cable-y dude pattern. Cable-y dude? I'm making stuff up again, you know. Anyway, I knit about maybe 5 more repeats of this cabled pattern before decreasing for the cuff. So I have to weave in my ends for this, which I know it's a debate, it's debatable, but I don't mind weaving in ends. Generally, when I weave in ends, I tend to weave them in as I go. And when I finish a project, if I still have ends to weave in, I just accept the fact that I'm going to be sitting there weaving in ends. So I pop on a podcast and just weave in all those ends. But anyway, one sleeve done on Zweig, and I am powering through the second sleeve. And Nina from the This Old Knit podcast, you know, I was talking about how, you know, this first sleeve was a slog, and now I have to knit the second sleeve because of all the cables. It kind of slowed me down, but she's like, the second sleeve is gonna go so much faster, and she was right. This one is just flying off the needles. And yeah, so I've just been powering through, watching some podcasts and knitting away on this, and I switched back to circular needles, my high sharps. Last week I was using wooden DPNs for knitting sleeves in the round, but I don't know, like I reverted back. I actually do prefer magic looping my sleeves. Go figure. It's a lot less fiddly, a lot less needles to manage, and you know, I don't have to worry about stitches falling off. So anyway, here's where I am on my Zweig. The yarn, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about it. It's my hand-dyed yarn, Voolenvine yarns. The main color, this mauvey pink color, is Voolenvine number 9, and the contrast black speckled yarn is my Solstice colorway on my Nouveau base, which is a superwash merino single ply base. So anyway, there she is. Yay! So hopefully by the next time I record, I will have a finished Zweig to share with you, and I could not be more excited to wear this. I keep trying it on, and I'm just like, I want to wear it so badly. Less trying on, Kristen, more knitting, and then you get to wear it, right? Yeah, anyway, yay! So continuing on to the next island of sleeves, we have living in my project bag from Nina of This Little Knit. She gifted this to me for Christmas. I love it. Is my Threipmuir sweater by Ysolda Teague. And yes, sleeve island. But you know, it's going. And I'm using DPNs on this, but I'm considering switching back to circulars. But here's where we are. Nothing major to write home about. Just endless stockinette and decreases every several rows or so. And yeah, there's nothing really, again, nothing really much to say about this other than knitting on sleeves, lots of stockinette, can't wait to wear it. And the yarn is Jamieson and Smith, jumper weight 2-ply, and well, the green and the cream are Jamieson and Smith jumper weight 2-ply, and then this blue-green, icy blue-green in here is Jamieson and Smith, or no, I'm sorry, no, Jamieson Spindrift, I should say. I always get the two confused, but there is a difference. But they are very similar in the way that they feel, and they can be used interchangeably. So yeah, and this is a pattern again by Ysolda Teague. This is actually my very first Ysolda sweater pattern. I've tried in the past to knit some of her sweater patterns with no success, either because they were a huge undertaking. I remember when I first fell hardcore into knitting, I tried knitting her Tiny Birds cardigan. I don't know if you remember that, but it has kind of like a wrap neckline, and it has like little colorwork blue birds all over it. I couldn't even get past the cast on. It was just insane. I think that was like a huge undertaking for me, so I just cut my losses, even though I bought all the yarn for it. And then I tried to knit her Vivian cardigan, which is that I just lost steam on altogether because it was so involved, lots of cables. It just went on and on and on. But anyway, first Ysolda sweater pattern, very excited to have one finally. And hoping I will get this done in time for EYF. I don't see why not. So there's that. And I showed off last week that I cast on a Siri cardigan by Linnea Ullman, which is a very popular pattern now. I feel like everyone's knitting one or everyone has knit one. And I cast one on. I haven't made any progress on it since I last showed it to you, only because I'm just realizing I'm running out of time for finishing these for EYF. So putting that one on the back burner until I finish at least one of these sweaters, and then I can commence with that one. But yeah, otherwise, that is it. I have no other knitting to show you, unfortunately. I've been pretty monogamous with both of these projects. Is that possible? I don't know, but startitis, guys, the struggle has been very real. I've been wanting to cast on all the things, but resisting the urge hardcore because it's not in my nature to be monogamous with knitting. I was kind of planning bringing down all of my bags, my whips from, you know, that are shoved in. I have a little cubby hole that's dedicated specifically to UFOs and whips that I haven't touched in eons. I debated whether or not I wanted to bring those down and share those with you, but I don't want to. So I am actually going to move along to sewing. I don't have any stash enhancements or anything to write home about this week, but I do have some sewing to share with you, and you're looking at it. I'm wearing it. This is the Ogden Cami by True Bias Patterns, and I love this pattern so much, you guys. This is fabric that was gifted to me by one of my close friends. She's a fashion designer and total sewing guru. She sewed my wedding dress. Anyway, she was having a de-stash. She was de-stashing a lot of stuff in her fabric stash, so to speak, and she invited me over. She's like, you know, hey, you know, choose what you want. I know you're just getting into sewing, and, you know, have at it. So this one is actually silk. I don't know the content, but it's kind of cool because, I don't know, I'll stand up so you can see. It looks like an ink blot, like one of those ink blot tests, but at the same time, it kind of looks like a skeleton, like a rib cage, which I thought was very gothy. So I saw that Ogden, as I mentioned last week, Emily, who is Slow Fashion Rebel and helps me out once a week, she gifted me this beautiful mauve silk fabric, and I immediately thought, I stumbled on the Ogden pattern. I was like, yeah, I want to make an Ogden pattern out of that fabric. But first, of course, I want to do a muslin. And knowing that this pattern is a little loud for me. I don't normally gravitate towards, you know, high contrast fabrics, but I thought, you know, hey, you know, if it's going to be a muslin, you know, and it turns out okay, I can still make use of it. So sure enough, it whipped up super quick, super fast, and again, it's silk, so I did, let me show you, French seams on the inside. And I will say the pattern didn't actually suggest French seams. It said use a finish the raw edges in a method of your choosing. So I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with myself that I decided, yes, that requires a French seam. So those turned out really well. And then of course I did I took my baby hem, my narrow rolled hem foot, which is also called a baby hem, in the industry, another go, and I had a lot more luck this time around. I'm standing up and sitting down, I know, I apologize. Probably making you guys seasick, but here we go. A lot more success. It is not perfect, but I think because this fabric was had a lot more structure to it, even for silk, it was a lot more manageable to get through the foot, the narrow rolled hem foot. So yeah, here you can see I had a little issue, but not as bad as the chiffon skirt that I sewed last week. So really what I did was any edges that didn't make it through the foot correctly, I just went with it and then snipped it really close to the stitch line. So there might be a little, there might be a little fraying, but yeah, otherwise I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. Fits like a glove, and really, again, like super easy to put together. I think I sewed this within about an hour and a half. The next time I make it, it'll probably only take me an hour. There are I think 3 pieces total. There's a lining, or I guess like a half lining underneath here, and the only thing that I would do differently, because this was a muslin, technically I wasn't too concerned with it, but the only thing I probably would have done differently is get like a solid white for the lining piece underneath, because I used the same fabric, so you can kind of see the patterning underneath. It's not terrible. You can't even see it from here, so. But yeah, the pattern itself, or the finished product, is perfect for wearing over a pair of jeans, which I don't usually wear. However, during the summer, I wear a lot of these types of shirts. It hits at a nice point, really nice length to it. It's not too short, just the way I like these shirts, and it's loose and perfect to wear. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It's a great pattern. Highly recommend it. Super beginner friendly, and you don't have to use silks. You can use like poplins or other lightweight fabrics that aren't so slippery. So highly recommend it. I'm definitely going to be making more of these. So yay! Let me put on my cardigan because it is a little bit chilly down here in the dye dungeon. Am I putting this on correctly? Yes. But since we are talking about sewing, I ordered some more fabric. It came in the mail yesterday. So I know I've kvetched about sewing with quilting cotton, especially sewing garments with quilting cotton. I'm not too much of a fan of sewing garments with quilting cotton, only because the fabric can be very stiff. But for certain garments like skirts, it's okay. Like if I find a pattern that I really like and I have fabric that's really pretty that I can't resist, then twist my arm. So I ordered some fabric from fabric.com. A lot of you ask me where I get my fabrics from, mainly fabric.com. I know there are a whole bunch of other outlets out there. I know Fabric Depot is one of them. Fabric Worm is another great source. And then I will try and link to some of my other fabric sources, but primarily I generally, just because they're fast shipping and it's easy, I go through fabric.com. So there you go. But I found some really fun fabrics to make another Simplicity 1200 skirt, and that was the pattern that I sewed out of the chiffon fabric. So I don't know, I figured that pattern would also be great for some quilting cotton, some fun prints. And I saw these two together. Granted, I was not aware that the print on this would be so huge. I think it serves me right for not double checking, but it's this really pretty swan mauve fabric, and I thought this would be a really pretty skirt. And then that pattern also comes with like a contrasting hem, and I got this to go with it. So a little, aside from the mauve, it's a little out of my comfort zone as far as prints go, but for the summer, I don't know. Maybe I won't use this in contrast with this, but maybe I will just make a dress out of this one. Even though it's kind of huge. I don't know. I haven't decided yet now that I see how big the print is, but I love the prints. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So there's that. And these are both from, let me see, Art Gallery Fabrics. So let me see. Yeah, these are Art Gallery fabrics, and they actually have a very nice feel to them. So compared to other basic quilting cotton, this actually has a very nice high quality feel to it. So definitely they're a little bit more expensive than your average quilting cotton, I will say, but the print I could not resist. So I got 3 yards of it, and then 1 yard of this fabric. So we'll see what comes of it, but love the print. I'm obsessed. So then there's that. And then I also, in contrary to what I said, how I don't like high contrast prints, this one is not as high contrast, but you guys, butterflies. And they're like, normally I don't gravitate towards butterflies, but there's just something very gothy about these butterflies that I love. So I don't know. This high contrast print, I don't mind so much. I actually really like it. So it's probably going to be another dress like the birthday dress that I made, which was, what was it? I think it was a Butterick or McCall's pattern. I don't know, but I love that. That outfit's really easy. That pattern is really easy to whip up. So that might become another one of these. And so pretty. I don't think I would make another Gertie dress out of it. The one that I wore for Rhinebeck, but I don't think I have enough fabric in here. Oh well, but yeah. And then these other fabrics that I got, I could not resist because I want to make some more project bags for myself, especially some drawstring project bags. I don't know, I just love the look of them. Plus I want to switch up my project bag making game just a little bit because I feel like I've been making the same types of project bags for a while now. You know, just a squared bottom, contrast base, and then kind of like this one, yeah. Yeah, this is how I normally make my project bags, but I'm kind of interested in making a few drawstring project bags. So just, you know, to switch things up just a little bit. So I saw these fabrics and I could not resist. They spoke to me. They're very witchy. I saw this one, so it's kind of like a palm reading. I thought it was so fun. So if you're not familiar, I'm really into tarot cards. I think they're a lot of fun, and I don't know, it's very magical and witchy and spooky. So this, in contrast with this, I thought would be really fun. So yeah, so that's gonna be a drawstring bag. And then I saw this one and I could not resist at all. They're mermaids with tattoos. Yeah, so another project bag that I'm gonna have fun making. So yay, that is my fabric haul. And I really just want to sew all the things today for some reason. But I have work that I need to do. But that said, that is it for content this week, guys. It's a very short episode. I was actually debating whether or not I wanted to record this week, but I know when I let these things pile up, it just becomes a longer episode the following week. So I figured I'd, squeak in a little shorty for you and the like. But I am having a shop update on Saturday. It's going to be an international friendly update. So anyone can shop it. It's just at a different time than I normally have, which is Saturday, February 24th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I am gonna go get my yarn that I will have for sale in the shop. If you are not interested, thank you so much for sticking around and watching. Happy knitting, and I'll see you next time. But yeah, let me show you what will be in store on Saturday. Alright, so this week I was in rare form. I have started dyeing more Strange Brew colorways, which are one-of-a-kind colorways that I do not write down the formula for, and they're just pretty much experimental colorways, and just for me to have fun and to try out new dyeing techniques and the like. And I know a lot of you expressed your interest in my Strange Brew colorways, so why not when in Rome? So I have quite a few of those. However, some of my regulars that will be in the shop are Dirty on Purpose. So here it is on Footsie, and then here it is on Nouveau. So it's been a while since I dyed some of that. And then if you follow my yarn clubs that I have occasionally, I did a Twin Peaks inspired yarn club. And I'm finally releasing one of the colorways from that yarn club. And I just decided to do one of the colorways from that yarn club only because this was the one that I liked the most. And I thought it was a lot of fun. And this is Huckleberry Pie. So here it is on Nouveau, and this is it on the bottom on Smitten DK. So really jammy, really berry, you know, like I love how the brown kind of peeks through, kind of reminds me of crust, and then like the berries are just getting everywhere. I don't know, it looks like pie to me at least. So there's that, and then I will have some Dragon Tears, which it's been a while since I dyed some Dragon Tears, I will be honest. So giving this one some fun in the sun this week. So here it is on Smitten DK, and then here it is on Blitzed, my gold Stellina base. And yeah, there's that. And then Strange Brews. Again, as I mentioned, I had a wee bit of fun in the dye pots this week. And I'm debating whether or not I want to dye some more today or tomorrow. I don't know. I'm having way too much fun. So yeah, let me know if you want me to just start dyeing Strange Brews at least once a week, you know, just having a couple of color, like one-of-a-kind colorways in the shop once a week, and I will try to oblige that. And anyway, here we go. Here's one. I haven't named this one yet, but there's this, and then I will have, this is another one that was kind of random. Two of these, also not named yet. And then just piling it up here. Oh wait, what did I, oh no, I'm sorry. This was this colorway. That was that one. Anyway, this is another one that I kind of really like. I am debating. I did write down the formula for this one, but I haven't decided 100% if I'm gonna make it a regular. But this is Fierce Flamingo Nouveau, and then we have it on Volca down here, my merino nylon cashmere base. So this was a lot of fun to dye up. There's that one, and then this one I have not named yet, but I think it might need to become a regular. It reminds me of like a galaxy almost, or just, it's just so cool. I don't know, I like it. So I think this might become a regular. We'll see, we'll see. So yeah, I am, as I mentioned, I'm gonna be dyeing up some more today, and we'll see if I get around to it tomorrow. But that is what is going to be in the shop tomorrow. Again, as always, if you would like to stay in the loop about what colorways are going to be in the shop, and news and events and the like, please sign up for the newsletter. You can do that by going over to my website, voolenvineyarns.com, scrolling all the way down to the bottom and entering your email. And once a week, I do my best to send out an email letting you know what's going to be in the shop, so you can be prepared and the like. So, and thank you to everybody who has subscribed so far. Every day I just see like some new names pop up, or email notifications pop up saying that people subscribe. So thank you so much. Yeah, it means a lot that you are interested in my updates, which is another thing that I feel like I should talk about on the podcast, because if you are familiar with my updates, they can be a frenzy. Yarn sells out relatively quickly as soon as an update goes live. So I do receive quite a few emails from people, sometimes frustrated emails, and I totally understand your frustration. You're on my site at the time of the update and you just didn't see anything there, and you know, you added something to your cart and it wasn't there when you were ready to check out. And believe me, I totally understand your frustration. It's something that I'm continually working to figure out. Granted, please bear in mind that I am one person dyeing, as I say all the time, I'm one person dyeing yarn, and dye as much yarn as I can for each update each week. Unfortunately, I cannot do custom orders because the demand is so high, and I do my best. So unfortunately, inventory is limited during updates, and it sells out quickly as soon as an update goes live. So thank you. That it's a wonderful problem to have, but I know how frustrating it is when you add something to your cart and you can't come away with anything because someone was quicker to check out with that same item. So I always, just a little tip, I always recommend creating an account with my website and logging in a few minutes prior to the update. This way you're all logged in. You don't have to waste time entering your information when you're ready to check out. And the other thing is to, you know, sign up for the newsletter and or watch the podcast and find out what colorways you want to come away with. This way, at the update, you can automatically just go to the color and the base that you want, add it to your cart, and check out. So another thing that people have been doing is just adding to cart and checking out, going back, shopping, adding one skein to cart, checking out, and going back. However, I will say that that does rack up a lot of shipping costs, and unfortunately I have a policy where I cannot offer refunds for shipping on multiple orders. So just bear that in mind. It's just these policies I have to have in place to run a tight ship with my business. So they're there for a reason, and I'm not doing it to punish anybody or anything. I just have to have some policies in place to make sure that I stay sane and my business runs smoothly and the like. So anyway, this is all blather pretty much. So or hopefully helpful information to you, or you know, explains why things are the way they are with my shop updates. But it means so much to me, as always, that whenever anybody buys yarn from me, it's just, you know, yeah, I love my job. I love it so much, and you guys are the reason why I keep doing it. So thank you thank you for buying my yarn every week. Yeah, it just means so much. So yeah, I hope that explains some things. But anyway, that said, I am gonna move along to Blather, which is a segment where I chat about what's been going on in my life, should you care to stick around. So as far as what's been going on in my life, I will be totally honest, nothing really to write home about. This is gonna be a very short episode. I'm very light on content. But anyway, yeah, it's just been business as usual. Last weekend, a group of knitting friends got together to celebrate Carlene of the Made with Carlenergy podcast. Carlene recently got a job working at Brooklyn General, and we were all excited for her, so we all got together to celebrate. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, this weekend, all the making. I don't know. So yeah, it's pretty much just counting down the days to EYF, Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I was chatting with some people that I'm going to be hanging out with, and we were this morning actually, and we were kind of talking about like our game plan as far as you know, how we're going to buy, like what kind of yarn we're going to buy. Long story short, I was doing a little thinking, and I figured, so Year of the Sweater, it's not going to bode well for my for any yarn diet or restraints when I go to Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I will be coming home with a lot of sweater quantities. Not a lot, but at least I want to say maybe 3. And Hannah of the Corner of Craft suggested that, you know, we go in knowing what sweaters we are shopping for, and this way we have eye on the prize and come away without doing significant damage or too much damage, you know, although when in Rome. I'm gonna go through my Ravelry crew, I'm gonna go through my Ravelry queue and figure out what sweaters I want to shop for, and you know, have that in mind. I am not allowing myself to buy any more fiber because my spinning mojo has been on a severe decline. It's just been non-existent. I have not spun in quite some time, so no fiber for me, and I'm not going to go crazy with sock yarn because again, my sock knitting mojo, not too great. However, I will, if I see a skein or two that be still in my heart, it will, you know, it will come home with me. So anyway, I'm allowing myself that two skeins of sock yarn max, and then color work, because I am on a color work kick. I don't mind allowing myself to buy yarn appropriate for like mittens or hats or accessories, in which I can do color work. So I have a game plan. I won't go too crazy. I feel like at least if I have that in place, that kind of plan in place, I won't do too much damage. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling, so as I usually do at the end of every episode, which is why this segment exists. But anyway, that said, I'm gonna leave it there. Happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.